us a little bit about the changes that we're seeing at Nikon? Because I know Nikon, we think cameras, but you're doing something else now.
Yep. I joined Nikon 4 years ago, and I made some initiatives. For instance, we shifted the business model from the finished product centric to more to contribute to your customers, and we want to grow together with the customers. So we're providing components, parts, and so forth. So Nikon inside type of business model.
And then you can call it Nikon too. We do both, I think, at the same time. But when it comes to the company, when it comes to some of those equipments and components, how important are they for the chip making industry, which right now everybody seems to be focused on, given the growth of AI?
Right. So AI is, of course, a big thing. So AI, I think, will provide or will expand the possibility of humanity, I think. So in Nikon, we utilize AI in a variety of products. For instance, we in the digital camera, our AI is help users to take the ideal photos. And also in a biological microscope, our AI is assisting to development of new drugs to treat with cancer or other intractable disease and so forth. So I think we would like to contribute our technologies.
I think you're seeing some changes in your factories and facilities, especially to repurpose towards the future. Are you making more investments there?
Right. So we decided 100 billion yen investment in order to enhance our ability to produce optics. Optics is a key for. We are using tiny the lenses for microscope, and also we are big over certain meters, the bigger the lenses for the satellite and so forth. So we are very proud of our technologies in optics and the precision.
You have many partnerships with the U.S. as well, including NASA. I think you were recently invited by the Vice President Harris at a dinner. Tell us a little bit about your growth in the American market.
Yeah, actually, it's not dinner, a lunch, actually.
Okay, got it.
So I missed the chance to hear the voice of the Paul Simons because I invited the lunch hosted by Mr. Blinken and Kamala Harris, your Vice President, for lunch. When Prime Minister Kishida visited in April. The thing is, I have been invited by two reasons, I think. One is we are jointly developing the new digital camera usable in the lunar surface, moon. So our Z9 digital camera is now modifying to take a picture on the moon. So we are very proud of that. NASA chose Nikon as a partner. That's the one thing. Another thing, so my next, on the table, my next is the Mr. Bill, who is the administrator of NASA. So on the left-hand side is the semiconductors mafias. So our major customer is Intel. So we are providing the lithography equipment to Intel. So we are really proud of that.
How closely are you watching the geopolitical tensions and maneuverings around the semiconductor side? What role would Nikon play there?
Yeah, exactly. It's a great question. So we always have to be mindful for geopolitical issues. That is a risk, of course. But the IC chips definitely need. That would help the human beings' lives for coming digitalized society. So IC chips is key device. So our lithography equipment is key. So we are trying to expand our business within a rule. That rule, of course, includes export ban to China. So we are frequently, often consulting with the Japanese government and even the U.S. government.
When it comes to exports, because of the cheap Japanese yen, how much of your business is really in here and out there? And what is it a net positive, net negative?
Right. The weak yen is positive for Nikon's performance because approximately 80% of our sales are overseas. Having said that, in a more larger perspective, the continuous depreciation of yen despite the narrowing the interest rate gap between U.S. and Japan, may indicate some fundamental or critical change, i.e., a weakening Japanese economy itself. If that is the case, the weakening mother currency is not a good thing. I think the only way to deal with that is for Japanese companies, including Nikon, to trying to improve our corporate value. As a result, elevate the strength of Japanese economy as a whole.
When it comes to elevating your value, when could we see more solid profits, given that, of course, the investments are taking up a lot of the cost, right?
Exactly. So one of my assignment is I need to ask the patience for the investors while I'm tackling my juniors or colleagues. Please rush to make the product faster than the plan. So
the refocus will lead to long-term growth. What are you betting on right now?
We are betting on the many things. Of course, the digital camera is one thing. That we are trying to expand the customer base. Surprisingly, a younger generation tended to start shooting the camera. They are hobby.
I've seen some people.
Right, exactly. So everybody thought that the smartphone may beat the digital camera, but recently it's not the case. Another challenge, we are trying to entering into digital manufacturing, including metal 3D printers.
All right.
So many defense and aerospace industry in the United States shows interest. So that's why we established global headquarters of that business in California for obvious reasons.